Hey everybody, it's Kevin and Paula again. This dinner tonight is our fifth in the series, and it is a mushroom bourguignon. And we thought this time we would start in the kitchen, and Paula could talk a little about what she's going to be making, and you can watch her a little bit as she's cooking it.
Okay, so what we're having tonight, food-wise, is mushroom bourguignon, and I'm serving that with spätzle. I'm also making some green beans just so that we have something green. But the mushroom bourguignon recipe is in the Smitten Kitchen cookbook. This is one of my favorite cookbooks. I love the way she cooks. It's also available on her website, which is smittenkitchen.com. And in terms of a vegetarian meal, it's a great vegetarian meal to pair with really nice red wine. There's red wine in the food, so Kevin doesn't let me use kukkula for that, but you know, you could, you know.
Don't you dare.
Okay, so use something less drinkable, shall we say. Anyway, we're going to come back when I'm cooking the spätzle, which is kind of my heritage. I probably had spätzle 2 or 3 times a week the whole time I was growing up. My mom was a really great spätzle cook and just flicked those babies right into the pan, which I cannot do. But I got this really handy spätzle maker, which I'll show you later. So. It's cool. A little bit of an investment. They aren't expensive, but they make it so much easier.
Yeah. So why don't you just real quickly talk about what's in that bowl?
So these are the mushrooms for the mushroom bourguignon. I used a bunch of different kinds. I used some baby bellas and button and shiitake, and then I soaked some dried mushrooms too, just to give it more variety.
Yeah, so I'm a really big meat eater, and although I like and appreciate vegetarian meals, I always want to have a little bit of meat in what we do. And Paula said that this recipe calls for either vegetable stock or you can use beef stock, I guess, right? Mm-hmm. So she's going to tonight throw in a little bit of beef stock, but you can just use vegetable stock.
I also use the mushroom liquid that I soaked the dried mushrooms in. So,
and I find that this meal feels like, even though you're eating a mushroom as opposed to meat, it really feels very meaty, and just a wonderful meal on a cold evening. And actually tonight is going to be probably a little cold and blustery. We have a storm coming in, and we're losing the sun rapidly here, so it's the perfect meal for tonight. So we'll come back and show Paula cooking in just a minute.
Very cool. Nothing but the best. So you're basically just adding everything in there all more or less at the same time.
Well, the carrots and the onions.
Everything other than the mushrooms.
Well, the mushrooms are going to go back in a minute.
Uh-huh. She's adding some thyme in there right now. So you've just poured the wine in with all of the minced, diced.
And now I'm supposed to reduce it by half. Which I always hate those kind of directions, because how are you supposed to tell what half is?
You mean you can't see that?
It's like with bread until the dough's doubled in size.
Yeah.
Like,
You
how
need
do I know what doubled
some kind of a
in size
volume meter. Okay, so you just added some tomato paste, and now you're adding the stock, which is the mushroom stock and beef stock.
Yep,
And what's that?
that's
Oh,
the mushroom.
that's the mushroom stock, okay. And you're getting close to adding the mushrooms back in.
Yep.
Sure smells good. Yep. All right, so now you've added the onions in.
Yeah, I kind of went off recipe there because I browned them a little bit instead of just barely cooking them with the mushrooms.
So you kind of improvised on the recipe.
Okay, so we're ready to do this Betsy. My able-bodied assistant Adam is going to help with this because it's kind of a two-person job. I've done it with one, but it's a lot nicer.
It's gonna be a
This is the Spätzle maker, available on Amazon. Some of the other models have plastic on the handles, which I would recommend because it's a little hard to handle. Boiling water, salted boiling water. It's just like if you're making pasta. So I'm going to slap this on. I don't put it on until the end because it gets really hot and then the Spätzle starts cooking before it hits the water. So you can also buy dried Spätzle from World Market.
Okay. Let's move it off.
So I'm just pushing it through the holes. And I usually do it in a couple of rounds. You don't want all of the Spätzle batter on. Oh, and pay attention to this is the consistency you want. The recipe says between a half cup and a cup, and I always use more like a cup. So and then as it's dropping down into the water, it's cooking, and really, by the time you get it all through, you can start taking it out. And I use this to...
And how do you know when it's ready in the water?
It'll begin to float.
Supposedly it floats, but it's pretty much already floating as soon as you get it in, so...
Yeah, it cooks really quickly, and even if it's slightly undercooked, it's generally fine.
It's al dente.
Al dente, but a little different on non-dry pasta.
Spätzle is also really good sauteed with a little bit of butter the next day.
Okay, now you're pulling it out. Look at that. Pretty cool, huh?
So I started the Spätzle once the mushroom bourguignon was all the mushrooms and everything were in. And
All right, so looks beautiful. Smells great. And Paula, what's the vegetables you're doing?
I just did green beans with some shallots, sauteed with some shallots.
Looks wonderful. So tonight we're doing the In the Red 2012. I thought it would be nice to do kind of a cab based, although this is a 60-40 blend of Syrah and cab. It's interesting, I was tasting this a few minutes ago. It's been open for the last couple of hours, and for a wine that's been aged for about 8 years, it still seems really surprisingly kind of youthful. What's interesting is in the early years, 2012 by the way was the first year of the drought, yet the fruit came in much heavier than we expected. It was kind of a dichotomy with lots of fruit in a drought year. And to a large extent, the fruit came in quite ripe. So in the early years, the Syrah really showed, it was more dominant than the Cabernet was. And today, although we can definitely taste the fruit of the Syrah, the structure of the cab is really kind of coming out. I think that's going to be really beautiful with this mushroom bourguignon. So what do you think?
Great.
Yeah, it's really nice, isn't it? You notice how the Syrah started opening up a little bit? It was really kind of more cab at first, and maybe it's the food that kind of brought it out. There's kind of a meatiness and a sweetness almost with the broth mushroom, I guess the beef broth, it really kind of brings a little bit more weight in the blend, so the Syrah is really showing. But it's a really beautiful combination, so
Kippies.
Yippee.
So we've come to the 5th and the last in the series of Dinner at Kukkula. Hope you guys enjoyed watching these, and hopefully many of you did the recipes and the pairings along with us. We had a lot of fun, and I'm thinking that it might be fun to even do some more. So if you guys agree, let us know. Give us a call, email us if you have some ideas of what you'd like to see, variations on the theme. We'd love to hear it. Hope everybody is well. Hope this quarantine ends soon, and let's keep trying to have some fun during this crazy time. See you soon.